Hey everyone, this is a quick review of Kuman's 2600 lumens projector. Um, this version can take a 1080p input but only has 800 by 480 pixel output. So what that means is you can hook up your gaming system to it and everything will still look correct. It just won't be the same pixel density on the picture that you're seeing as it would be on a full 1080p TV. But everything still works fine if you're outputting 1080p from your computer, your game system. So it actually works pretty good. I'll show you what it looks like as well. I just thought I would leave it here and talk about it for a few minutes first. So first thing you notice here, there's a lens cap that comes on it. It's kind of a, I don't know if it's silicone or rubber, what it is, but a flexible lens cap that works pretty good. The lens has a manual focus on it, so you can see as I move this lever here, I guess it changes the lens position. So depending how close or far you have it from your screen, that'll adjust your focus. That's not the zoom, but it will make the picture bigger and smaller depending on the focus too. So there is a zoom option in the software. It's just to zoom out. So first you'd have to get it the right distance away from your screen, and then you can adjust your software zoom from there. Other than that, there's of course some buttons on the top here. If you don't have your remote with you, you can do most things, maybe not quite everything, but most things can be done there, changing the source and stuff like that. So that's all there. On the back, you've got all your inputs, of course. A couple USBs, two HDMIs, you've got a TV antenna, VGA, component, and RCA. This little knob is your keystone adjustment. Some of these have some projectors have another slider on the front, but this one does it on the back, so it's not as easy to change, which is, in a way, is kind of good if it's not something that you need to adjust all the time. If your projector's staying in the same spot, you don't want somebody messing with this, so having it on the back is kind of nice, I think. It doesn't move much. You can see, let me get a little closer here, you can see that's it. That's the full range of how much it turns. So it's pretty precise. It's pretty... you have to be really precise with it when you're doing it, but again, you only really adjust it once. So, and you've got your power input and the fuse panel here on the back too. I don't know if you can see that in the light there, but there's a fuse underneath this little door here. On the bottom, now I've already put this in. This doesn't come pre-installed, but it's obviously really easy to install. This is just your height adjuster. So once it's in, it just screws into this little hole here. Once that's in there, that adjusts the height of your projector. So if I leave it unscrewed, you can see it'll just, depending how far in you put it, it'll adjust how high your projector is tilted. So it works pretty good. It's not quite in the center, which isn't usually an issue, but if you're, well, maybe it is. It's really close anyway. It looks centered on the camera, but here in real life it doesn't look quite in the middle. But well, the only thing I've noticed is that if your table or your desk isn't perfectly level, it can kind of lean off to the side a little bit. It's nothing major, and it's easily fixed just by putting a little something under whatever leg in the back is off. But I don't know, it might have been better if they had the legs adjustable or something like that, but it's not a big deal. It works really well anyway. Oh, and the last thing I wanted to mention about the projector itself is just under this, you obviously have to have it out, but this little flat panel here comes out, and that's a filter that you can clean just to keep the dust and everything out of the projector, which is nice. And then there's the remote, which is actually a pretty good remote. It's pretty standard, but it has all the features that you might need. So you've got some favorite buttons, channel adjustments, things like that. That's obviously, a lot of that's going to be if you're using the TV input on there. If you're just using HDMI, you're not going to use a lot of things on this, but you've got a freeze and flip, so you can adjust your picture modes and stuff if you are going to be bringing this with you to work or anywhere like that to do presentations. Most things are just done through the menu on the remote. Once you're in the menu on the projector itself, there's a lot of options that you can go through there. Anyway, I'll show you that all that in a minute. I'm going to hook it up and keep going with that. So be right back. Okay, so I have everything hooked up. I have the projector off right now. I'll turn it on right away so you can see. It was just on, so it might warm up a bit faster than usual. It does take, maybe a minute to fully warm up the first time, but it's a lot faster than the old one still. Now you notice I have the lights on right now. I've just got a game going here. So you can still see what's happening, but it's pretty faded. And obviously this is just on a plain white wall. There's nothing, no screen or anything like that. Underneath you can see that's my couch, so it's a 3-person couch. That's basically the width of my wall. I've made it, I can make it a bit smaller because if I turn the lights off, of course that's when it goes black. There we go. You can see it's just a bit overstretched. Now I have it set, you just have to go in the settings to adjust it. 92 seems to be pretty good. For me anyway. I mean that'll depend on your settings obviously. Oops. Hard to see these buttons in the dark. Return, there we go. So yeah, you can see once the lights are actually off, it's quite a bit clearer. I don't know how it's going to come across in the video. I'm just recording this on my phone, but I'll load up a race here real quick and you can see. Like the text at the bottom is all readable. I don't know if you can read it, but I can read that clearly from here. It's not as clear as it might be on an actual TV, but I mean it's 3 and 4 times the size of it too. So it's a trade-off, right? You're not going to get a 150-inch TV or whatever this might be for anywhere close to this price. So you can see, you know, quite a bit of detail. Again, this is coming out of my computer at 1080p into the projector. Now, the output is only 800 by 480, but you can see everything is normal size and everything. It's not stretching or changing the picture or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's not going to be perfect for everyone. It's not going to be for somebody who insists on having the absolute best picture all the time, but it's definitely something fun. I mean, if you're having a lot of people over to watch a movie, things like that, you're not going to have people complaining that the picture quality isn't absolutely perfect for the most part. They're going to be impressed at the size of it and at what it can do. So let me just go through the menu really quickly here. That's your sources again. So picture mode, you've got a few options here. Dynamic seems to be the best. It was on standard. I don't know how much difference you can see there, but it does brighten it up a bit to be on dynamic. Color temperature obviously just changes, warmer, cooler. Sometimes you'll notice a difference, sometimes you won't. Aspect ratio, widescreen or not, and then you can have the zoom mode as well. Most of the time you're just going to want to leave it on widescreen. There's some noise reduction options. This is the projection distance, or direction rather, so if you had it mounted upside down, you could change which way you have the image coming out. Of course, reduced display size is what I was just on. You can zoom in or out. I don't know how low it goes. Oh, I think we hit it there. So 100% obviously is too big for what I have, but you can go right down to 75. And then you might have to adjust the focus if you were going that low. But yeah, 92 seems to work for me. I had it a little higher, but I found that the bars were going over the couch a little bit. So this is not where I'm going to be using it permanently either, but it's a lot more impressive than where I'll actually have it, so it's better for the video. Yeah, so after that, you can go into the sound mode. There is a speaker on the projector. It's nothing fancy, but it works. You can obviously hook up your own speakers. It's going to be a bit better quality-wise. There is a sleep timer that you can use, and a few options for the on-screen display. I think that's about it. Yeah, there is a software update too. I haven't looked into this yet to see if there's anything there. I just tried to look for a USB stick, but I don't have one in there right now. So yeah, anyway, I'll have some more details in my text review, but overall I'm really pleased with this thing. It's impressive, and for the price, you really can't get a whole lot better for your money. So anyway, yeah, if anybody has any questions, leave a comment or send me an email. Thanks for watching.